Welcome to What We Know Wednesday. So, what do we know? We know that calendula is highly underutilized, and I know that you are smart enough to take the information I'm about to share and utilize the hell out of her. In this study right here, a bunch of people got burned. I don't know if they burned them on purpose or what, but 60 people got burned. Half of those people were allowed to take calendula internally, the other half were just up a creek. They showed that about 7-10 days in, that the people who were taking calendula, suddenly their wounds started to heal much faster than the control group, and that's pretty amazing. I know from personal use that calendula topically would have healed that wound even faster. But what we also know from this study is that calendula is an amazing lymphatic stimulator. This study showed that it stimulates lymphocytes, which is a fancy word for a type of white blood cell that is made in your lymphatic system. All those glands that get sore sometimes, that's your lymphatic system. And we stimulate that lymphatic system, things start to happen, like, oh, I don't know, burns heal, right? But this study also showed that it had cytotoxic effects against tumors. Now, to put that into human speak, cytotoxic effects against a tumor or anything basically means that it's going in there and it's killing these mutated cells, right? It's going in there and it's stopping these cells from mutating because it kills them. And by the way, what happens when cells mutate? It turns into the C word, and not the C word that lives next door, the C word that makes people very sick all year long. And then there's this wall of text that I'm going to try to fit on the screen here, so I'll lean over. this this just goes on and on how it's amazing for, it's anti-inflammatory, it's autoimmune stimulating, it's skin issues, it's ulcers, it's anti-ulcers. They're using calendula during plague times. It's anti-tumor, it's this, it's that. It's been around a really long time, and now definitely a lot of herbalists use calendula, but I do believe that she is highly underutilized, and I believe that you are smart enough to begin utilizing her more. So that's calendula. Calendula is amazing, and you are absolutely smart enough to do this, and that's what we know. So if you like my random what we do videos and all this kind of stuff and popping up things on the screen or whatever, make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, turn on notifications. But also that sharing one is really important because it helps other people realize how amazing calendula is and that they are smart enough to do this too. And if you want to support my capacity to teach freely, consider following the link in my bio or the description depending on where you're watching, and call something home from my shop. Thank you so much for your support, and I'll see you next time, folks. Bye. And then there's this study that talks about the fact that they were using it for cervical dysplasia. Dysplasia is a complicated word for cells are starting to mutate, but it hasn't turned into the C word yet, right? A lot of women deal with that, and then they get terrified because they're like, oh, they told us that I have dysplasia, I have, mutated cells going on, and that can be scary. It can be caused for a lot of reasons, but this study showed that topical application of calendula was reversing the dysplasia. And so, you might have to soak yourself in some calendula tea.